Amanda here from createyourfuture.co. So you guys asked and we've listened. So we've gotten emails, quite a bit of them asking to basically email them when we have a sale or a course is launched by a coach or live meditations get started up again. So we have listened. We have created a mailing list. The link is in the description below. Please sign up for it if you'd like to get discounts on our coaching. Find out when a coach launches a bundle, puts a sale on a course, launches a new course, or starts, offering live meditations. All these things, we're going to be emailing that list, okay? Of course, we'll also mention it on the YouTube channel like usual, but you'll be the first to know on that mailing list. So guys, thank you so much for being here. And we intend that each and every one of you guys manifest your desire. And remember, you guys are perfect. Each and every one of you is perfect, and you deserve what you want to create, and you are powerful, and you can create it. So without further ado, enjoy the coach's video.
Hello everyone, it's Maddie from Create Your Future. So I wanted to share a personal success story that I actually just did. It just came into my reality, and I wanted to share a little bit about my journey, kind of how I broke it down this time. I did something a little bit different with the technique that I used and how I did it, just because of my own resistance, and basically how I was able to manifest $11,000 in 24 hours. So I just want to say before we get into this video that we are having a contest. Everything is in the description below. If you would like to participate, you can do so by subscribing, liking this video. This is not a part of the contest, but I would love to see what you guys are manifesting right now. Comment down below the things that you are working on or exciting things that have happened in your own reality. I love intending with you guys and just seeing how everybody is progressing along the way of their manifesting journey. So let's get into the video. We'll talk a little bit about my process and how it became really easy for me to manifest money, when in the past I had a belief that I always had to work really hard for money. It was really hard for me to manifest money. If I ever had debt, it was going to take me a really long time to pay that off. And so this time I just didn't fight my reality. That's basically what I did. Was I followed what I thought was right in the moment every single time. And it really took 24 hours. Whereas before, when I tried manifesting money, it would maybe come up in like 6 months to a year. So the first thing I did in my process was I acknowledged where I was at right now. So I'll kind of just talk about that a little bit. I had 2 credit cards that had a lot of debt on it, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And my goal was I wanted to pay those credit cards off and be financially free before I had my baby in August. That was always the goal. So I became really clear with my goal. I became clear with what I wanted. But then I kind of worked through some of that resistance. So here's some of the thoughts that came up that I worked through and how I did that. So one of the first thoughts was, you don't make enough money to just pay this off right now, Maddie. You don't. And I was like, okay, well, that's a limiting belief. And it's okay that I had that thought. Another one was, how is that even going to happen for you? Like, that's not just going to fall out of the sky, And I was like, okay, well, I acknowledge that, that's a part of my thought process right now too. So basically, I'm just acknowledging the fears, the doubts. Well, what if I don't get this? Okay, it's valid that I would think that. There's a lot of people that think that. There's a lot of people that would think, oh my gosh, I'm not going to get what I want because this circumstance just seems bigger than me. It seems impossible. It's very far-fetched in my mind to really believe in that. That's okay. So I just acknowledged myself where I was at, the things that I was feeling and thinking in that moment, because I wanted to honor myself. I had not really been doing that when it came to money. And I thought I would just be with myself in that moment and really be kind to myself about my beliefs with money and really what I was thinking, just being authentically me in that moment. And basically how that shifted was once I faced my fears of, well, what would happen if I didn't pay this off before August? Well, I guess, I would just have to keep kind of chipping away and like snowballing it, as you would say, about paying off my debt. It might take me a few years. It might be kind of hard financially. I might, have to put away extra money or work a second job if really need be. So I'm basically facing my fears in those moments about, what could happen if I didn't get my manifestation, right? It's not that I don't believe I could get it. It was more like there's a lot of fear and resistance that was coming up in that situation. I didn't want to fight it anymore because I had been basically resisting my resistance for so long when it came to money that it wasn't materializing the way that I wanted it to. There were times when I get lump sums of money, but it would just take me a very long time to do so. I didn't want that to be a part of my experience anymore. So basically, just acknowledging where I was at, the beliefs that I had in that moment, really sitting with myself and allowing myself to feel that anxiety, kind of freak out a little bit if I needed to. But at the end of the day, I made it okay. I made it okay that I felt those things or thought those things, and I stopped giving them importance, which is kind of the point, is that that's just a part of nasty voice. I've talked about this a couple times in other videos about what nasty voice is. I'll kind of recap it a little bit. It's this little voice inside your head that wants to stay relevant. It wants to keep being alive, and it will keep telling you things like what I said before about money specifically. You can't get what you want. That seems impossible. How the crap are you going to do that? Like, really? Just one lump sum of money is just going to magically appear into your bank account? So I, just worked through that, acknowledged it, sat in it, didn't try to change the thought or the feeling at all. And it actually went away pretty quickly. I would say within like 10 minutes. And so when I sat in that, those natural beliefs that I had been wanting to believe and affirm for so long about I have a healthy relationship with money. Money is always easily flowing to me. It is totally possible that miracles can happen. So instead of me being like, how are you going to get that? I was like, well, miracles happen all the time. Or you could say manifestations, big or small, happen all the time. However you want to relate to it. I actually just related better with miracles happen all the time. Weirder things have happened, whatever. And that really helped me to release the resistance. I stopped feeling anxiety about it. I stopped feeling anxious about it, which I just said anxiety, but whatever. So I just stopped having all this negative feeling towards it. And that's when I came to a state of peace, which we call that the feeling state. You always want to get to a state of peace in your reality, just because it's nice to feel that way. But you're also not, in this low state of being where you feel like you frantically have to find an answer all the time in order to get what you want. So that's why the acknowledging the feelings, acknowledging where you're at right now, and accepting whether you like it or not. You don't have to accept that oh, it's okay that I have to like it. No, you don't have to like it at all. But you're acknowledging that you don't like it. You're acknowledging that that's exactly what's going through your brain right now, and that's okay. And then those natural new beliefs of, I have a healthy relationship with money. I can get whatever I want. Oh my gosh, miracles happen, stuff like that. So funny enough, I actually just kind of forgot about it. I'm not going to lie to you. Because I let myself release the resistance. I didn't try to fight it this time. And I did intend for those things a couple times throughout the day. Like what I had said before, I have a healthy relationship with money, and it's really easy for me to manifest money. Money is the easiest thing I think I've ever had to, manifest in my entire life. Is the easiest thing. Because I released my resistance, I got it so much faster, stuff like that. And then I allowed myself to just go throughout my day. I was like, I'm just going to go hang out with my family today. I'm going to go to a store. I'm pretty sure I bought myself a gift just because I wanted to. And then I came home and I got 2 checks, just random checks out of nowhere. And they were a couple $1,000s. I don't exactly remember the exact amount, but they were a couple grand. And then I was like, oh, great, that can actually pay off one of the credit cards. That's amazing, right? Thank you so much, for, blessing me with this. So I basically just acknowledge it, I'm blessed with this, yada, yada. And I was like, I basically went into preference mode of I love the fact that I got this money and I'm so grateful. I would really like it if I actually got the remainder of the money. I don't know how that's going to happen, but I would love that. And it would just really help with my financial situation. So instead of me trying to fight my natural assumptions that I may have had, which, some of the resistance did come back up when I didn't get the full manifestation. I was like, oh, well, did I just not do something right? Whatever. And I was like, okay, you know what? It's fine. I am just going to have it in preference mode. And so then And you can do that. You don't always have to be 100% sure all the time that you're going to get something, especially if there's too much resistance. That's when you can be like, I would love to have this. That's what I did, just because of where I was at in the moment, and that's totally fine. I woke up the next morning to a random check that my parents forgot to give me, laying on top of some other mail that I had. And that check was for $9,000. It was going to pay for way much more than just my credit card and everything combined. And I was officially financially free way sooner than August, obviously, because I'm making this video now. So I just want to have this as an encouragement to you guys that you can try new techniques in order to get what you want. You can have it as a preference. You can work through your resistance and kind of go backwards with it. And you can get what you want. You don't have to believe it all the time 100% that you're going to get it. I didn't, but I knew that that's something that I wanted. I preferred it. I believe in miracles. So I think that's something that really helped me with this. But I also wasn't trying to fight my 3D or try to make it happen. So something like an example that you could try to do to make it happen is, oh, well, now I have to go try to find a new job that makes this salary. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Like, do I have to get a loan? Like, whatever. There's so many things that you can go out and try to chase the result. And it's natural and normal for us as humans to want to do that just because, we don't know how it's going to happen. And sometimes our brain wants to figure out how. Allow your mind to try to figure out the how. Let it just free flow and, let it be like, oh, I'm freaking out. I don't know how this is going to happen. When your mind is done freaking out, trying to figure out the how, you're like, okay, I don't have to figure out the how. The how is really none of my business. I just have to be clear on what I want, create some intentions around it, and then I'm allowed to go throughout my day and just trust that this is going to be brought to me. I don't know how, but it is, right? And so that's kind of where I sat for that day was, I don't know how this is going to happen. I don't know when. It doesn't really matter to me. I just know that I would prefer for this to happen before the baby comes. I would prefer to be financially free before the baby comes. Why do I want that? Because it'd make my life a lot easier. It would make me, have more money to spend with her and be able to do more activities. And I just basically started telling myself like why I would love to have this money and have, be financially free and all that other stuff. And that's when I came to a state of peace, like I said, and I was like, I just don't really have a lot of resistance towards it anymore. So if that kind of helps you with maybe manifesting some money, giving you some hope, I just want to be here to tell you that I did it in 24 hours when I had a really hard time in the past manifesting money in general. You can do it too. So if there's too much resistance, acknowledge it, accept it right now for what it is, come to a state of being, be okay with yourself, create some intentions, opposite obviously of what you have been thinking, and then allow yourself to go throughout the day with what you are doing. You can get what you want. You don't always have to be 100% sure all the time that you're going to get it. Is that preferred? Yes. But this is a perfect example of preference mode. Preference mode is sometimes a little bit less resistant than always having to be 100% sure in your reality. So if that's an encouragement, I hope it is for you guys. I intend that you got something out of this video that will reach the right people, that everybody that, watches this video gets encouragement about manifesting money or manifesting things in general. Maybe this will help you with a new technique that you can try, is just having preference and trusting and allowing and just going with your 3D. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Can't wait to hear from you. And if you want to book a session with me, you can do so down below in the description box. I would love to help you with your limiting beliefs, with your blocks, if you have any, and just helping you along this journey. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.